All right, let's talk about something that probably makes you groan a little bit. Citations. Yeah, I know, that word can bring up a little bit of dread. But what if I told you there's actually a super simple system, like a secret code, behind all that MLA format madness? Stick with me, because we're about to crack it wide open.
Come on, you know the feeling, right? You've just finished writing this amazing paper, you're so proud of it, and then you remember the works cited page. It just feels like this random jumble of rules, weird punctuation, and italics that seem like they were designed specifically to make you tear your hair out. Totally get it. We have all been there.
But here's the good news, and it's really good news. The folks at the Modern Language Association, MLA, they actually created a system that's super flexible. It's not about memorizing 100 different rules for 100 different sources. Nope, it's about getting one single core pattern that works for pretty much everything.
So before we jump into that secret formula, let's take a quick pit stop and talk about the why. Why do we even do this? Because honestly, once you get the why, the how suddenly makes a whole lot more sense.
Okay, think about it like this. A citation, it's not a punishment. It's not just some boring chore your teacher makes you do. It's a map. You're literally giving your reader the directions to find the exact sources that helped you build your case. It's how you give a shout out to the people whose work you used, and it's how you show you're part of this bigger, ongoing academic conversation. It's basically your backstage pass.
Okay, you ready? This is it. This is the main event. I want you to completely forget about trying to remember one rule for a book, and another for a website, and a different one for a YouTube video. Just wipe the slate clean. Instead, all you have to remember are 4 simple questions.
This is it. This is the whole system, right here in a nutshell. To build pretty much any MLA citation, all you have to do is answer these 4 questions. Who made it? When was it made? What's it called? And where can I find it? Once you've got those answers, you just put them together in a specific order. Creator, then title, then the source, and last but not least, the date. Seriously, that's the secret pattern. That's the key.
All right, let's see this thing in action. Let's put it to the test. We'll start with the classics, the sources you see all the time in school, books and journal articles. Let's see how our 4 core components handle them. Okay, check this out. We've got a book. Who's the creator? Well, that's the author. What's the title? Easy, the title of the book. Now the source. This is what MLA likes to call the container. It's the bigger thing that holds the work. For a book, that's stuff like the publisher and what edition it is. And finally, the date it was published. See, it's really just like filling in the blanks.
And when you put all those little pieces together, bam, you get the final citation. It's exactly the pattern we talked about. Creator, followed by the title, then all that source info, and the date at the end. It's just a clean, logical flow. No magic, just a system.
Okay, what about a journal article? Let's try that. And guess what? It's the exact same pattern. You've got your creator, the author. You've got the title of the article itself. The source, or the container, is the journal it was published in. That includes things like the volume, the issue number, page numbers, and of course, the date it came out.
You put all of that together, and this is what you get. See? It's the same fundamental structure. All 4 of our core components are there, just with slightly different details tucked inside that source part. The system totally holds up.
All right, here's a quick but super important tip. A lot of people get tripped up on this one. When do you use italics and when do you use quotation marks? The rule is actually really simple. You italicize the big thing, the whole container, and you put quotation marks around the smaller part that's inside of it. So you italicize the title of the book, but you use quotes for the title of a chapter. You italicize the title of the journal, but use quotes for the title of the article. Makes total sense when you think of it that way, right?
Okay, I hear you. That's great for old school books and articles, but what about, the stuff we actually use every day? Like websites, YouTube videos. What about AI? Does our neat little 4-part formula still work for all that? Oh yeah, you bet it does. So, let's take a regular old web page. We find our creator, in this case, Alex Marvin Pope. The title of the specific page he wrote is Reflecting. We've got the date it was published, and the source is the bigger website it's on, Reflections on Websites, plus the URL. Look at that. The pattern is exactly the same. And here's how that looks all put together. Now, there is one little extra thing you'll often see with online sources, that access date at the end. Why is that there? Well, because websites can change or even disappear entirely, so adding the date you looked at it is just good practice. It's kind of like a timestamp for your research journey. Oh, this is a fun one. A YouTube video.
Same deal. The creator could be the main person in the video, like Sally Smith here. The title is just the title of the video. The date is when it was uploaded, and the source? Well, that's the platform, YouTube. You'd also include other important details here, like who uploaded it, and of course, the URL.
And there it is, all pieced together. It's perfectly logical. It follows our 4 steps to a T: creator, title, source, date. Honestly, once you see this pattern, you can't unsee it. It's everywhere.
So what about the brand new stuff? The real cutting-edge frontier? Like citing something from an AI like ChatGPT? Well, guess what? The system is so flexible, it can even handle that. Now, in this case, there isn't really a creator in the traditional sense, so the most unique thing is the prompt you wrote. That becomes your title. Then you just list the source, the AI tool itself, what version it is, the company that made it, and the URL. And finally, the date you ran the prompt.
I mean, look at that. Even for something as brand spanking new as generative AI, the core logic, giving a title, a source, and a date, lets you build a perfectly clear and useful citation. This system isn't rigid, it's built to adapt to whatever comes next.
So let's bring it all home. What's the big takeaway here? What's the one thing I really want you to walk away with today?
Here it is. The most important point is this: stop trying to memorize rules. Seriously, your new superpower isn't memorization, it's pattern recognition. When you look at any source, from a dusty old book to a brand new website, just ask yourself those 4 questions. Who's the creator? What's the title? Where's the source or container? And when's the date?
When you start seeing citations this way, not as a bunch of annoying, rigid rules, but as a flexible way to tell the story of your research, you unlock a really powerful tool. It stops being a chore and starts being a core part of how you build a strong, convincing argument. You've got the key now. So the only question left is, what are you going to build with it?